I didn't faint. That's the part people always ask about. The waiter closed the door and told me to promise I wouldn't faint. And I didn't. Not then. Not yet. Anyway, that came later, before that. It was my birthday. 60th. I hate even saying it out loud. My name is Lydia Russell. I've owned a small textile shop longer than my son has been alive, which feels fake when I say it like that, but it's true. We were at the Italian place I've gone to forever. Same booth, same server rotation. Garlic and hot oil in the air, that smell that sticks to your coat whether you want it or not. Kevin was different that night. Soft, careful. He stood up with his glass and thanked me. Out loud, for everything. Working too much, being alone too long, being his mom. He gave me a bracelet. Heavy. Expensive enough that I joked he should return it. He laughed a little too fast. Honestly, I liked it. I liked feeling seen. He watched me take my supplements. Not in a creepy way, just attentive. He'd started organizing them for me a few weeks back. Said it was easier that way. I didn't argue. Stupid decision number 1, I guess. Put it on the list. We hugged. I kissed his cheek. Left a lipstick mark. He smiled. I went to the car feeling tired but okay. Like maybe the loud part of life was done. Then I reached into my bag and felt nothing. No phone. Years of contacts. Notes. My whole working brain, gone. I sighed, swore under my breath, and walked back inside, alone. If you're thinking, yeah, I'd have done the same, that's fair. I thought it was nothing too. The place looked different when I walked back in. Quieter. Like the air had been unplugged. Daniela was at the counter with my phone in her hand. She smiled when she saw me, quick and nervous. Like she wasn't sure she was allowed to. I thanked her and reached for it. She didn't give it to me. Instead, she stepped past me and turned the lock on the front door. I heard the click. Clear as day. Then another one. She checked the glass. The side window. Pulled the shade halfway down. Her shoulders were tight, like she was bracing for something. Hey, I muttered. It's okay. I just forgot. She held up one finger. Not rude, just firm. Her hand was shaking. I noticed that before anything else. I need you to sit down. Lydia, she told me. Her voice was barely a whisper. What I'm about to show you, it's going to be hard to stomach. That warning landed hard. Hard to stomach. Not just bad news, but something that could break me. I felt my stomach pull in on itself. The dumb instinct kicked in. The one that tells you to joke your way out. I almost did. Almost told her I was tougher than I looked. But she was scared. Not dramatic scared. Real scared. The kind that makes people do things they know might cost them. I don't faint. I told her I meant it, I promise. She nodded once, like that was all she needed, and only then did she turn and lead me toward the back. She didn't rush into it. That was the first thing she wanted me to understand. I watched all night. Daniela told me as we walked. I didn't jump the moment you stood up. I followed her into the small office in the back. She didn't sit. Neither did I. You've been coming here forever, she went on. You tip fair. You remember names. You don't snap your fingers. I shrugged. That's just basic decency. She shook her head. It's not common. She paused, then added, quieter. 2 years ago, you helped me. You probably don't even remember. I didn't at first. Then it clicked. She'd been short on tuition that semester. I'd slipped the cash into the check folder and told her to keep the change. I hadn't thought about it since I wasn't paying you back, she told me quickly. I was paying attention. She leaned against the desk. Her eyes kept flicking to the door. I almost didn't do anything tonight, she admitted. I kept telling myself it wasn't my place. What changed, I asked. She didn't answer right away. Her jaw tightened. My mom used to sit at tables like yours. She finally said, laughing, trusting. Everyone thought she was lucky. I waited. She kept going. They said they were taking care of her. Paperwork, doctors, a place where she'd be safe. Her hands clenched. She never came home. She looked at me then, really looked, when your son started talking. She murmured. It sounded familiar. She reached into her pocket. That's when I stopped pretending it was just a family dinner. Daniela clicked the mouse and stepped back like she didn't want to be too close when it started. No sound. She warned. Just video. I nodded. I didn't trust my voice. The screen showed the booth. The same one I'd just been sitting in. My purse still on the seat. My water glass half full. Then I saw myself stand up. I leaned in, kissed Kevin's cheek, smiled like everything was fine, like I hadn't given that kid my entire adult life. The door closed behind me on screen. Kevin changed instantly. His shoulders dropped. His mouth flattened. He reached up and wiped his cheek with a napkin. Hard, like he was scrubbing off something dirty. He stared at the napkin for a second, then tossed it aside. Monica leaned toward him. She laughed. Not loud, not cruel in a movie villain way, just relieved, like she'd been holding her breath all night and could finally exhale. Her lips moved. I couldn't hear it, but I knew that face. I'd seen it when she talked about people she didn't respect. Kevin checked his watch, tapped the table twice, fast, irritated. He looked toward the bar, then back at her. Whatever patience he'd been pretending to have was gone. My chest did this weird thing. Not pain, more like a crack, a quiet one. The kind you don't notice until you try to put weight on it. I leaned closer to the screen. I kept waiting for context, for something that would make it make sense. A bad joke, stress, anything. Nothing came. That's when I knew. Daniela murmured behind me, "He wasn't worried about you. He was waiting, waiting." The word stuck. I watched my son gesture toward the empty seat across from him, the one that had been mine. He didn't look sad. He didn't look conflicted. He looked free. I stepped back before the video ended. I didn't need the rest. Whatever came next on that screen, I already understood the shape of it. Daniela reached for the keyboard again. "There's more," she told me quietly. I didn't answer. I just nodded once. And this time, I made myself keep my eyes open. Daniela held up her phone before I could ask. "Not the cameras," she told me. "Those don't record sound. I used mine. I didn't move. I didn't nod. I just waited." "I tucked my phone behind the heavy curtain of your booth." She added, "I prayed they wouldn't notice it, and that they wouldn't stop talking, and pretend I never did this." She pressed play. Kevin's voice came through first. Clear, calm. The same tone he used when he explained things to me slowly, like I might miss a step. "The doctor says the treatment is working. I felt my jaw lock. She's easier to manage lately." Monica laughed. Soft and quick. A sound like relief. "That's because she trusts you. She told him. She always has." Kevin didn't argue. "The evaluation is next week. Ramirez already knows what to write." There it was. Not shouted, not dramatic. Just handled. Like scheduling an oil change. They talked about paperwork, timing, making things simpler. Kevin mentioned signatures the way people mention errands. Monica reminded him to keep me tired. Keep me calm. I grabbed the edge of the desk without realizing it. My head buzzed. Not spinning. Just hollow. Daniela paused the audio. "There's more," she offered. But this part mattered. I didn't tell her to continue. I didn't tell her to stop. The dizziness made sense now. The mornings I couldn't finish a thought. The afternoons where words slid right off me. I'd blamed age, stress, bad sleep. I'd even apologized to Kevin once for being scattered. He'd hugged me, told me it was okay, told me he'd handle things. I looked down at my hands. They weren't shaking. That surprised me. He's been giving me something. I muttered. It came out flat, like a fact you write on a form. Daniela didn't correct me. She just nodded. I reached into my bag and felt the pill bottle. Plastic. Light. For the first time in weeks, I didn't open it. Daniela hit play again. She didn't look at me this time. Kevin's voice came back, steady like he was reading off a checklist. We can't wait this out. The longer it drags, the messier it gets. Monica jumped in fast. Then don't drag it. The place I found is quiet. No visitors unless we approve. They handle everything. Kevin hesitated. Just a beat. Does it have phone access? She snorted. For who? She won't need it. I felt that one in my teeth, like biting down on foil. They didn't talk about dying. Not once. No hospital beds. No end-of-life anything. They talked about moving me, placing me, parking me somewhere cheap and far. Like a car they didn't want to see anymore. Kevin mentioned paperwork again. Guardianship. Temporary authority that would become permanent if no one challenged it. Once the doctor signs off, he muttered. Everything unlocks. Monica leaned closer to him on the recording. Her voice dropped. Your business needs cash now, not in 5 years. He exhaled. Long, I know. The loan's already in default. They talked numbers without saying them outright. Selling the house, freezing accounts, cutting off the factory clients because she gets confused on calls now. That part stung more than I expected. I'd built those relationships myself. Every one of them. Daniela stopped the audio before it ran out. I didn't realize I'd been holding my breath until my lungs burned. They're not taking money, I murmured. They're taking access. Daniela nodded. That's what happened to my mom. I stared at the paused screen. Kevin's face frozen mid-sentence. Familiar. Ordinary. My son. Erase me. That was the word that fit. Not steal. Not wait. Erase. I picked up my bag. Checked the weight of it. The pill bottle still inside. Untouched. Daniela hovered. Unsure. Do you want me to keep going? I shook my head once. Slow. Careful. No. I told her. I've heard enough to stay standing. I stepped back from the desk. My legs felt weak, but they held. Whatever came next. I wasn't disappearing quietly. My legs gave out before my pride did. I grabbed the back of the chair and sat hard. The metal was cold through my dress. I focused on that. Cold meant real. Real meant I was still here. I promised. I muttered. More to myself than to her. I won't faint. Daniela crouched in front of me like she was afraid I might tip over anyway. She waited until my breathing slowed. My mom started the same way. She told me. Her voice wasn't shaking now. That scared me more. Doctors talking softer. Family handling things. Pills that made her sleepy but not sick enough to question. I kept my eyes on the floor. The pattern was already lining itself up in my head. They said it was stress. She went on. Then confusion. Then safety. Her mouth tightened. By the time I understood what was happening, she couldn't explain anything anymore. I swallowed. My throat burned. She died there, Daniela added. Quiet. Everyone said it was peaceful. I reached into my bag and pulled out the supplement bottle, white plastic. Kevin's handwriting on the label. He'd rewritten it after organizing everything. I turned it over in my hand like it might bite. I usually took it without thinking. Dinner, pill, water, sleep, routine, easy. I twisted the cap open, looked at the pills, small, harmless looking. I tipped one into my palm. Then I didn't take it. My hand shook, not dramatic, just enough to notice. Daniela watched me, didn't push, didn't comment. I feel stupid, I admitted. I thought getting older meant letting go. She shook her head. It means people expect you to. I dropped the pill back into the bottle and screwed the cap on. Tight. My head felt clearer already. Not sharp, just less muffled. Like someone had cracked a window open. I leaned back in the chair. Let the weight of it hold me. They think I'm fading, I said quietly. That's why they're moving fast. Daniela nodded. That's when it always happens. I stood up slowly. My knees protested, but they listened. Then we don't rush, I told her. We wait. Whatever weakness they were counting on. It wasn't permanent. Daniela moved fast, but not sloppy. She sent the audio to my phone first. Small files. Easy. The video would take longer. She warned me it might finish uploading after midnight. That's fine, I told her. I don't need everything at once. She hesitated. I can walk you out the back. I shook my head. No, I need to leave like nothing happened. She unlocked the door and stepped aside. For a second, neither of us moved. Then she handed me my phone. This time, she didn't let go right away. I'm scared, she admitted. If they find out, they won't. I cut in. Not gentle. Not unkind. Just certain. Not yet. I slipped the phone into my bag. The weight of it felt different now. Not heavier. Sharper. Outside. The air smelled like hot pavement and old oil. Same street. Same night. Cars passing like they always did. The world hadn't shifted. I had. Halfway to my car, something my husband used to say came back to me. He'd said it once, maybe twice, always casual. Like advice you give while fixing something broken. My husband always said, Lydia, business is business. Even with kin. Keep a separate line to a lawyer you trust, just in case love blinds you. I'd laughed at him back then. Told him he watched too many crime shows. I didn't laugh now. I sat in the driver's seat and didn't start the engine right away. My hands rested on the wheel. Steady. The pill bottle was still in my bag. I left it there. Daniela's audio was already on my phone. I didn't play it again. I didn't need to. Kevin thought he was ahead of me. That was the advantage. The only one that mattered. I started the car and pulled out slow. No rush. No panic. Whatever came next. I had proof, and I had time. I just had to act like I didn't. Kevin was waiting when I got home, sitting at the kitchen table like he'd been there all night. He stood up fast when he saw me. Mom, I was worried. He went on. You took a long time. I blinked at him. Let my bag slide off my shoulder like it was heavier than it should have been. Did I? I murmured. I'm sorry. I lose track lately. His shoulders relaxed. Just a notch. I caught it. It's okay. He told me. That's why I'm here. You don't have to handle things alone. I smiled. Small. Grateful. The kind of smile people expect from someone they think is slipping. He poured me water, watched me drink, watched my hands. I didn't take the pills. The next morning, my head hurt. The day after that, less. By the third day, the fog thinned enough for thoughts to line up again. Not sharp, but mine. Kevin started hovering, asking the same questions twice, testing me. I failed on purpose. I can't remember the email password. I told him one afternoon, rubbing my temple. It's written somewhere. He sighed, loud. You had it last week. Did I asked. I let my voice shake. I'm sorry. That night, after he went to bed, I sat in the dark and called the lawyer my husband trusted. I didn't explain everything. I didn't need to. I just told him I felt unsafe and wanted protections in place. He understood faster than I expected. By the end of the week, my accounts had alerts, temporary holds, quiet safeguards. Kevin couldn't touch without setting off alarms. During the day, I misplaced documents, forgot meetings, let him believe he was running things. He started leaving papers out, talking on the phone where I could hear, careless in that way people get when they think the outcome is locked in. One evening, he slid a folder toward me. "We should take care of this soon," he told me gently, "before things get harder for you." I looked at the folder, then at him. "Okay," I replied. "If you think it's best." His relief was instant. He thought the performance was over. I kept my eyes down and my mouth soft. Inside, everything was lining up. Tomorrow, he'd bring the form, the one that would finish it, and I'd be ready. Kevin brought the paper out like it was a favor. He set it on the table between us. "Smooth, careful. This just makes things easier." He went on. "Temporary. Medical stuff only." He smiled. The same smile he used when I signed permission slips, when I trusted him. I picked up the pen, let my hand hover. I could feel his eyes on me, waiting for the slip, the wobble, the moment he'd been rehearsing for. I looked up instead. "You said something the other night," I told him. My voice surprised me. Steady, clear. "You said the safest place for people who can't control themselves is somewhere they won't interfere." His smile flickered. "I didn't say that." He snapped. "I heard it." I replied, word for word. I pushed the paper back toward him. "And you're right." The color drained from his face. "That's why I'm not signing," I continued. "People who can't control themselves shouldn't be in charge." The front door opened. I had unlocked it via my phone minutes before. My attorney stepped in, followed by a court-appointed observer. Kevin turned. Slow, like his body needed time to catch up to what his mind finally understood. "This conversation is over," the lawyer added. "From this point on, everything goes through me." Kevin opened his mouth. Nothing came out. I stood. My knees shook, but they held. I thought of Daniela, still back at that Italian place, and how her courage had given me mine. She didn't need to be here to see this. The victory was already ours. I didn't faint, not when the door locked, not when the truth came out, not when my own son tried to erase me. Here's the thing I learned, and I'll say it plain. Getting older doesn't mean handing your life over. Trust is not the same as surrender, and love doesn't give anyone permission to make you disappear. If this story hit close to home, take a second, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me where you're listening from. These stories matter because they happen more than people want to admit. I walked past Kevin without touching him. No speeches, no victory lap. Sometimes survival isn't loud. Sometimes it's just standing up when everyone expects you to fall.